Echo 5, do you copy? Echo 5.
Echo 2, good morning. Nice of you to drop by.
Feeling alright, sir? Thought we lost you.
Right now, I feel like I can take on this whole podcast myself.
I know what you mean. Ready to send that transmission to Echo Base?
Yes, sir. R10, patch through.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Hoth Transmissions. This is Echo 2.
And this is Echo 5.
Alright guys, so we're going to be continuing our discussion for The Mandalorian Season 1. So right now, we are jumping into Chapter 2. There's not much news going on. I know that there's a bunch of books coming out for the High Republic, so I've started reading the first one, The Light of the Jedi. It's actually pretty good so far, so if you guys haven't picked that book up yet, I would highly recommend it.
You got to give me a copy, Mark, because I forgot all about those, and I remember now seeing a lot of posts recently. People have been talking about them, and I haven't read them myself, but I'd like to be ready for this new era.
Yeah, I mean it's something different. I'm actually really excited for it just because it's jumping into another section that we're not familiar with. So there's really no expectations here. I mean,
does it feel like reading Aftermath when you're getting ready for Force Awakens and all this other new stuff?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just really cool to just kind of see like a different aspect, different outlook on the galaxy rather than what we see in the movies and the TV shows. And so here in the books, I haven't gotten too far into it yet, so I can't really give like a good rundown on it. But
yeah,
from what I've read so far, it's actually pretty interesting, and it's really cool to see. A lot of fans are already jumping in with a bunch of fan art. They're jumping in with a bunch of predictions and all this other stuff. A lot of people are saying this is some of the best stuff that's been written since I think Mandalorian or maybe something else.
Wow, you're selling me.
Yeah. So if you guys like reading, go ahead and take a look at it. We will be doing a review on it. So we'll kind of give you guys an update on it so you guys can kind of see what it's like. And that way.
Oh, sorry. No. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and just for those people that don't really care for reading, but they want to know about the lore, we'll keep you guys updated with that.
Do we have a date for Bad Batch yet?
Not yet. I am predicting that it will be here probably, I want to say, late May, early June.
Awesome. I'm getting real excited for that one. I hope we're.
I am too.
I'm excited to cover that because I recently watched the last story arc of Clone Wars, the Siege of Mandalore. I just watched those last 4 episodes recently, and
yeah,
I also watched Bad Batch, and I think it'll be really cool to see their side of the Order 66 and go farther into an area where we haven't really explored much of the rise, like right into the Rise of the Empire. We had the after effect of the Rise of the Empire with Star Wars Rebels, but it'd be cool to actually live it because we really haven't, as far as live action form or animated form, even any type of TV show form. I think it'll be awesome.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a whole new perspective that I think would be cool. And they're just really milking the clones from what it seems like, but I'm not complaining about that. Because
clones are awesome, man.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people are asking, like, what happened to the clones after Order 66?
Yeah. See, there's certain characters, too, that I think it was you I talked about with this, that, what we might see. Rex could easily make a cameo. Are we going to see anything else with Commander Cody? Explore anything to do with his situation with his general Obi-Wan, or is he just going to continue to be kind of a zealot with the chip? What if they try to get his chip out? Who knows what they might do? But I think there's a lot they can do in the show. A lot of characters can show up. They could have Hondo, like other guys can totally.
Oh, let's bring back Hondo. He is probably easily my favorite character from the Clone Wars.
Oh,
the more I read about Hondo, it's just like I just read and see his episodes. I read his quotes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot how great this character was.
Oh yeah,
I
oh
didn't
yeah.
appreciate him as much as I did when I first watched the shows. I used to think he
Yeah,
was annoying.
it's fun. Well, it's fun to see his progression from Clone Wars when he's more. I mean, he's always a dirty. I was gonna say he was more dirty pirate. He's always a dirty pirate, but it's cool to see him grow up to when he becomes loyal to Ezra and Rebels. Um,
And we say that very loosely. Loyal.
what's that?
We say that
Oh
very
yeah,
loosely.
yeah, oh
Loyal.
yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. He's funny though. Like when I actually just watched the last episode of Rebels not too long ago, and he has his little Ugnaught friend die. I forget his name, but
Oh yeah, I forgot about that dude.
he's sitting there crying. He's sitting there about to cry over him, and the guy's kind of like waking up as he's saying, "I wish I could just see him one." And then he gets up. He's like, "Oh, like." Starts snapping back into his normal self, like he doesn't pretend like he doesn't care. And it's just funny. He's like they say he's a Han Solo, Jack Sparrow kind of blended sort of character. He's by far one of my favorites too.
Oh yeah, it's just very interesting on what they do with these characters, and just who they introduce is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of my favorite characters are actually from Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff. So
Oh
so
yeah.
them opening up this whole new area is uh, gonna be pretty epic.
No, it'll be fun, man.
So all right, guys. So that's what we're looking forward to. Echo 5. What's your initial thoughts on it?
One thing I really like about this episode is it does that thing where you get to explore more of the original trilogy style characters like the Jawas. I think it's cool when you see in A New Hope you see the Sandcrawler, and you don't get to explore it a whole lot. I mean you see inside of it with 3PO and R2D2 when they get sold to the Lars company on the Skywalker homestead, but it was really cool to see some action there where that thing's just rolling and Mando's chasing them and they're throwing stuff at him. You get to see inside of it. You actually get to see the cockpit of a sandcrawler. Um, I like those little things. I love the exploration of and there was just like a lot of comedy. It was definitely a side story for sure, but I mean most of the Mandalorian episodes kind of are, but they also grow the story at the same time. Um, I definitely the first time I watched Mandalorian, I didn't think we were going to stay on Arvala 7 that long. I thought he was just going to go get his mission. Once he got the kid, I thought by the second episode they were going to move on and leave somewhere else. So I was a bit surprised to see that he kind of got delayed with the whole thing with the Jawas getting hold of his ship parts. And but yeah, it was a good opportunity for him to grow uh, with Quill at the time. We don't know his name, but you know, the Ugnaught character. I've spoken. Um,
Yeah, his
yeah.
famous
What?
line.
What's that?
I said, yeah,
Oh,
his famous line.
yeah, exactly. But I don't know. There's a lot there, and there's a lot of growth we get to see in Mando as well. I noticed. I forgot how impatient he is with certain things. He seems a lot more patient later on in the show. I'm just so used to watching season 2 because it's more recent, and he has a lot more patient demeanor. And um, another thing too is it's crazy to see he's already having a bond with the kid, and he just barely met him. I mean, there's already something kind of growing there, which is really cool. There's a lot there. I mean, I don't want to talk it all in one sentence, but there's a lot of growth for the characters in this episode and exploration. It's very Star Wars. I love it. So, what about yours?
Yeah, it's really interesting because like a lot of the stuff I never really noticed the first time around. And
Uh,
so, especially like comparing it to season 2, like it's really is interesting seeing like Mando in a different mindset compared to how he was in season 1. And so he's sitting here super impatient and just trying to get. He's just in it for the money right at this point.
yeah,
And so it's not until like the next episode that he really begins to think and realize it's like, okay, what exactly am I doing this for?
yeah,
And And it's all because of the child, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because we definitely do get to see that bond. And this episode was, I'm not gonna lie, for me it was kind of dry, but I did enjoy a lot of the the build up, a lot of the story build up for it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just love the entire sandcrawler sequence when he's chasing it. He jumps on, and they're just like throwing stuff at him. Then they try to drive him into the rock, and then he's
He's doing all
climbing
those
up, and
maneuvers.
yeah, and they're just zapping him, and then he's like he pulls Jawas out. I just think I thought it was like hilarious and entertaining. He's just
Yeah, no,
see
he's sitting there
Jawas.
vaporizing and killing them.
Yeah,
It's just kind of funny just to see these little kid-sized
it's
creatures
kind
running
of
around and getting
morbid almost
blasted.
too at the same
A little
time.
bit.
Yeah, no, he's grabbing them. He's just flinging them. They're flipping out of control to back, down to the ground, and then he climbs at the top, and then they just zap him. I thought it was hilarious. Um, yeah, but when he first sees them taking his stuff, yeah. Is that the first time? That's the first time I remember seeing. Am I? Oh no, I guess I was gonna say that was the first time I saw the gun, but he used that gun on the creature back on the ice world in the first
He
episode.
did, yeah, because he let out that little electroshock to
Yeah,
that
right.
creature.
When he first got Mithril on his ship. That's right.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and man, that gun is actually really cool.
Oh yeah, that's an
Uh,
impressive weapon.
yeah, and he wasn't able to use it against the Mudhorn later on because of all the mud.
Oh yeah, that's right. The mud kind of jams his gun. I didn't catch that the first time I watched that. I saw that when he goes flying out of there. He tries to get it, and he's trying to get the bullets in there, and he's just like, and it's kind of like jammed, and then he gets jacked up.
Yeah, I like a lot of the realism that they bring into the show because
Oh yeah,
like we're so used to watching movies and it's like everything just works for the character,
yeah.
and this character just seems to be struggling every second. It's like, are you sure this is like the best bounty hunter in the galaxy? Because not only did he get bested by a Mudhorn, he got bested by what was that one creature from the first episode.
Which
He
just the
just kept.
way. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just think it's funny.
Well, the way he just looks so defeated too. After he gets flung, he tries using the flames on the Mudhorn, and then he tries using his cable, and then he just keeps getting thrown around here and there, and then he just kind of pulls out his knife, and he's just the way he's walking, he's like got like no strength, and then of course the child saves him. But yeah, he's basically, yeah, he just looks like he looks so defeated.
Yeah, and I wonder if the child wasn't there if he would have. Well,
No, I think he
I
would
don't think he could
have.
have won.
No, I think he would have killed him. Just the way he was holding, he was just kind of like holding his knife, like, okay, there's nothing else. I'm screwed.
Yeah,
which is really like funny and sad at the same time when you see the results of
yeah,
all
because
that
he doesn't
effort.
have the Beskar armor at this point, so he's
No,
not invulnerable.
which I got to make it know, it's really weird to see him without the Beskar armor because there's only 2 episodes that we get in the whole show where he doesn't have
Yeah,
his full Beskar armor. He's just got the shoulder pad that he got from the last episode, and then his helmet. It's also I missed the jetpack already too after watching season 2.
yeah. I actually noticed that when he was chasing the sandcrawler, it was actually really interesting to see him just start running. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but it's cool to see because he has to try a lot harder because he doesn't have it. So it's cool to see that he can handle himself without the jetpack, but the jetpack just enhances him once he gets it. So he actually had to earn that jetpack. I think that's one thing I like just about the show in general so much is this character literally he builds from the ground up.
Yeah, it really is interesting to kind of see that he can really like handle himself without that armor, and because we kind of see a little bit in season 2, he
Yeah,
kind of goes into that stormtrooper base, and it's just in he takes off his armor, and so he's just using the stormtrooper armor, which breaks, and so it's kind of the similar one with
yeah, that
his
was
because
actually well, that was actually funny when those bounty hunters were going after him. He tried to block the armor, and then it wasn't the same. He's like, it's like hurting him.
yeah, and even his chest piece like malfunctioned a little bit. I think that was after the Mudhorn when he was talking to Quill. He
By
just
the way,
standing there, and his whole armor was falling apart.
quick side note. So I've noticed they're utilizing a lot of species, like especially original trilogy species, or original trilogy and prequel Star Wars species. Those pirates that are attacking on that sixth episode, are those Iktachi?
I
The
think
like
they are.
the CC10 species? They look like it, but I tried to look it up and I couldn't find something on it. But I was trying to find out if they were. Sorry, trying to go. I just noticed it the other day. I was like, are those the CC10 species?
Yeah, I was actually curious about that myself because one of my buddies was asking about that.
That's one thing I did notice that their some of their designs do look a little interesting. Um, like there's one there's like a Nikto or they have the Nikto species, but there's another species from Jabba's palace. Can't quite put a name on it, but you'll see them in the fourth episode on season one of Mando when they go to on Sorgan, the jungle planet, and they kind of look like bulldog face guys, but it's actually a species that's from Jabba's palace. And anyway, it's just some of the designs look just kind of funny because it's pretty much the same species, but it's not exactly the same species. But I don't know, it's just kind of funny. Even like the Twi'leks in the sixth episode of season one look
Correct.
look
Right.
kind of they look a little goofy, but they're still Twi'leks. I don't know.
Oh
So
no, you're absolutely right. And so there's a lot of mixture between all the different characters and stuff because it's really cool to see the Trandoshans at the beginning.
yeah, yeah. Oh, and speaking of that attack, when those bounty hunters attack him, you see him use his gun as sort of like a spear sword weapon, and you get to see the first. You see that he does have skills with a spear. I didn't catch that before, but he's kind of
Hmm.
he's kind of using it as like a fighting sword, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that whole combat I thought was actually pretty cool because there's a lot of different like moves that he's using that I thought was actually really cool. And I would
And
actually in
yeah,
future seasons I'd actually kind of like to see him jump more into that style, and especially if
yeah,
they continue to go into Mandalore, it'd be really cool to see how he develops more into their fighting style compared to what he was raised and taught.
right. It's cool too. Like in that scene when it first opens up, you see those little lizard creatures.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. They're just kind of a little scurrying.
It almost looks like they use like a type of claymation sometimes in this style, but it's cool to see how much they just use real stuff. Things feel real in the show. I really appreciate all that.
Oh yeah, they constantly use a lot of that stuff, and I'm always baffled by just the ingenuity that they come up with a lot of it.
Right.
Like, yeah, um, but that's one
Like the
thing
blurgs. The blurgs look really good.
that is true. The blurgs, and that's one thing that I did appreciate them with the child is that they didn't jump into using all that CGI stuff for the child, and that they stuck with
Yeah,
just using like an actual puppet
they
because it
could
would have
have
been.
easily done it too.
Hmm. And
Well,
I
I
know
mean,
that they were going to at one point, but then they decided not to.
yeah, I mean, look how much more believable everything looks though, just because of how realistic it is. I know they have animation in there, but for the most part, things in the show are completely realistic. And even the new style we see on the behind the scenes of of space, the way they use their set, they have that new style where you see like kind of space is basically in the set. It's that style. They actually have real backgrounds, like painted backgrounds that they film in, and it just feels more real. And they don't have to just they're not using the green screens and blue screens much. I don't know. I like that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of all that. It's interesting
Yeah.
how they just jump around with a lot of it, and I'm glad that they're going that route with it, and not just going with the modern aspect of just tossing. Oh, let's just do a CGI for everything. That'd be really cool. It'd just be really easy to do, but I really do like all the practical effects that they're using.
I like they have some really good cinematic like landscape shots in the desert of Arvala 7. We just when he's
Yeah,
just
there's some shots that I was just like, oh my gosh, that's actually a really cool shot.
yeah, like there's one scene where he's just walking with Baby Yoda, and it's just got some really cool music, and it's just got this. It's like a sunsetting scene, and it's like he like zooms out and you see him walking with Baby Yoda right in the center of the shot, and with the music and the scene, it looks really good. Um, Again, like real landscapes, that kind of stuff sells me. I love that kind of stuff where you feel like it's a place you can go and visit.
Hmm.
It actually exists. I've noticed too that the poor guy, Dinjarin Mando, he's always walking so far in all that armor and gear. Uh, like after he loses his ship, he literally just walks all the way to Quills, and
Oh yeah.
it's far because of how far they traveled with those blurgs. I know he's been walking for a while in the canyons. Just because the episode opens up and he's already walking in the canyons when he gets attacked by the Trandoshan bounty hunters. But even in the same thing happens in Tatooine as well. When he loses his speeder bike by those bounty hunters and just he has to walk all the way into Mos Eisley.
Oh dude, I
Like
know.
he's carrying all that gear and Baby Yoda and let alone his armor is like probably scorching hot. He's a tough guy, man. Walks everywhere.
Yeah, and kills everything he sees. It looks like.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it's
exactly.
kind of interesting because like he wanted to get all his ship parts back, and so Quill's like, okay, all right, well you're gonna have to negotiate with these guys.
Yeah,
And he's like,
he's like they
he's
destroyed my ship. He's like they don't destroy. They just salvage.
yeah,
They
well
just
my ship didn't need salvaging,
yeah
and so then he's like, oh yeah, just leave your weapons behind. He's like, nah, I'm taking them. Weapons are part of my religion, and we get that famous line that
yeah.
everybody quoted when it happened.
hmm
I mean,
I
I don't
love
blame him
yeah
though, because I mean, it's his ship. Why should he have to negotiate for his parts back?
right yeah that's BS man. I love his conversation with the Jawas though when they're making fun of his Jawa.
Oh yeah, his temper
It's just
flares again.
yeah oh yeah there you go yeah that's when you see his patience like big time yeah um
They're like, yo, you speak terrible Jawa, sound like a Wookiee. And then he's like, oh, can you understand this? And so he
with
sits
the
there and throws his flamethrower.
yeah
And Quill's like, oh, whoa, 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 chill, chill, chill.
I thought that scene was comedy. It's funny. It's funny in the Jawa speak that you can actually hear Wookiee in there too. And he's like, "Oh, you sound like a Wookiee."
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, good stuff, man. That was. Oh, and I like oh, I like when they're driving the Sandcrawler and you got those zoomed up goofy shots of them saying "Suga, Suga," and then
Oh, yeah.
it shows him inside the cockpit and with all the Jawas, he's all crowded in there, and then one looks at him, Suga. You're like, he's just like, oh my gosh, am I
just
really
get
doing
me,
this?
just get me out of here.
Give me my
I'm
parts.
done. I'm done chilling with these Jawas. Let's just get this mission done.
Yeah, that's
Because he has to
funny.
get with that egg, which oh my gosh, that thing looks really interesting.
Oh yeah, the hairy egg.
Yeah.
I thought I'm kind of bummed out when I first saw the episode. I thought that the Mudhorn. I thought it was like on the trailers. I remember seeing it on the trailers for Mando when they were first advertising the series. I thought it was a reek. The
Oh, yeah, that's right.
the creature from the arena and Attack of the Clones, but it's definitely not. It's definitely different. But I thought that would have been cool if it was a reek.
Yeah, it would have been really cool to see it kind of do that.
The reek has like it has the front horn like the mud horn, but
Mhm.
it has two side kind of devil like shaped horns that go to the side as well. So it actually has three big ones.
Yeah, it could be in the same family of those creatures, though. So I mean,
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I actually want to look that up now.
yeah, exactly. Um, so like after seeing season two and watching all of season one, it's kind of interesting to jump back into this because we get to look back at the child and kind of see some subtle things that they're hinting at
Mhm.
that we never really noticed the first time around because we just didn't know. And like when Mendo's got hurt, he's sitting there trying to patch himself up, and Grogu's already building an attachment to him. He's like, "All right, you save me from these smugglers or whoever we're holding him." I hope they come back to. I want to know why he was there. And so he's like, "All right, so you don't seem like a bad guy, but your arm looks really messed up." So Grogu already knew that healing ability, and he was sitting there getting ready to heal him.
Yeah.
And then Amanda's like, "What are you doing? Get out of here!" And so he
Yeah.
picks him up,
Exactly.
puts him out of the thing, and then the child gets out again and tries to heal him again, but he ends up just sticking him in, closing the hatch on him. And
Yeah.
so,
They're kind of foreshadowing for the seventh episode when he heals Grief Karga later on.
mm-hmm.
And I think at the time when that came out, wasn't that also around the time that the Rise of Skywalker came out in theaters too, and they kind of introduced that healing ability,
Yeah, and they
right
said it
before
was
that
going to be a
snake.
little bit of a spoiler. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that back then. Um, but yeah, no, that was really cool. That was actually another one of those cool shots to that scene with the sun setting and he's sitting in the desert, and I love those desert nighttime scenes. Are
oh,
always
dude, the desert's beautiful.
yeah
Everything they do there is just phenomenal. I really like all the aspects that they go
yeah.
with.
No, it's all good stuff, man. It's all good stuff. And then more walking in the desert, of course.
Yeah, man, poor Mando. Spent a lot of time just walking around, wandering the desert.
Man, I feel it's cool. It's cool to see Quill how talented he is with his hands, like fixing things, mechanics. Um, when he takes he takes
What?
Mando. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. It's like when he was helping him put his ship back together.
Yeah, that's where I was going. It's crazy to see how much the Jawas stripped his ship apart, and I mean, you could see through it. It just looked like a bunch of scrap metal after the Jawas were done with it, and then
Mm-hmm.
Quill was able to take him back and help him fix it. And then he didn't even want a payment or anything. He didn't want money, nothing. He's just like, hey man, I'm just grateful that you brought peace to my valley. This is a way I can repay you. I've got skills in my hands, so I'm just a good guy. I'm just gonna help you. So
True.
which is cool because usually any character, especially in the galaxy, and they want something. They do something for you. They're expecting something in return, and you don't see a lot of genuine nice guys like that in Star Wars. So it was kind of cool to see a different character like that.
Mom, you said that the biggest problem in the universe is no one helps each other. And here we go. We got Quill helping out Mando.
Annie, I'm just kidding.
And so, yeah, it is actually really cool just to kind of see that there are genuine characters out there.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like, oh, you brought peace to my place. That's all I wanted. You did a good job for me, but
It's funny. It's funny. So it's funny. The one character that sees all that says that quote's the one that becomes like the worst character later and
dude, I
starts.
know, right? He becomes the biggest problem in the galaxy.
Yeah.
Oh, little Annie. And so,
That'll be an interesting conversation when we get to the Phantom Menace.
oh, dude, I know, right? So that'll be a while yet. At
It's actually
least
been
over
it's
a-
actually
over a year.
it's actually been a long time since I watched the movie. But anyway, we're not talking about that one. But it's
Well,
just been it's been a while. I'm actually not I'm not a huge just lately after seeing all these Star Wars projects, we're so spoiled. There's so much going on. I just never really care to watch the prequels lately because there's so
that is
much good.
true. There's
But
just so much new stuff coming out. It's just hard to keep up now.
well, my prequels are the Clone Wars now, just because the story's so dang good. Anakin's got so much more personality, but we'll get there another time.
True, very true. Um, so what do you think of them jumping around at the time? Like, it they kind of like made it seem like he wasn't there. Like I mean that he was there a long time fixing the ship. It didn't. I'm glad that they kind of just messed around and made it seem like he didn't just get his parts back and magically his ship was put back.
Yeah, it looked like it took some time to put back together. I don't know. I don't know how long he was there, but it definitely seemed like he was there at least a couple weeks, if
Yeah,
not a month. It looks like
something like that.
yeah, it looks like it took quite a while. I was actually thinking that I was watching the episode earlier, and he loses the ship and he's just walking in the desert, and I'm thinking to myself like, okay, so he's got the asset. Um, does he have a time period where he's supposed to report back to the admiral on Navarro, or is he just, are they just kind of like whatever, you know? Because he's going to be gone for a while.
Well, I don't think that there really is a time limit. I mean, because if you look at the what was it, the IG unit, and then you have the Trandoshans that all have the tracker fobs.
Yeah,
So it seems like he was just like, okay, take the job, take the job, take the job, and
sure.
not much of
Whoever
a
gets it.
yeah. And however long it takes, it it takes. So whoever gets it back the quickest, well, obviously is going to get the payment.
Which that was another thing right there. You just mentioned that we first found out that there was a lot of bounty hunters that were setting out for this job, for this asset.
Yeah, when he thought he was the only one.
Exactly. Yeah. So like right from the beginning of the episode, and you saw all the tracking fobs from the Trans-Ocean bounty hunters that attacked him in the desert, in the canyons. Right away we saw like, oh crap, man, they're just freaking sending everybody out for this guy.
Oh,
So
seriously, it's
you knew
insane.
there was something, and then they start showing the force powers, so you know that there's something to do with that, uh, with them wanting to. Uh, there's something to do with the force and them and their goal in obtaining this asset. They're wanting to do something with this guy, and you start kind of seeing more of that in this episode. That there's more going on here than meets the eye.
Very true. Very true. We'll only find out in the next episodes. Too
I
bad
know
we don't. So there's no
that's
way
the
of knowing this.
that's the fun thing about talking about this episode after everybody knows it. It's like, oh man, spoilers, like everything. But
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a few people that are gonna be listening to us that haven't seen the they're kind of just like, oh, okay, they're starting on Mando season one, so they'll start with that and then follow us
sure,
along. But so I apologize for any spoilers for any of you guys that are beginning the series, but well,
yeah,
we'll try not to put too many spoilers, but we're just gonna kind of talk like some of like the critical points that we've noticed that really become like comparable to the later seasons.
exactly, exactly. So so yeah, so he helps gets. Oh, when he that was a pretty creepy scene too. When he just walks into the cave, and it's cool to see he had a little headlamp, and he looks over, and then he gets to that part where it looks kind of muddy but texturized, and he shines back, and then you see the eye open, and then you just see him flying out of the cave. Or actually, no, you see some flashing gunfire, boom, 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 and then he just goes flying out of the cave.
Yeah,
Um,
that was a really cool scene.
but all in all, it's kind of you feel bad for him because he gets that egg, and then the Jawas, you know, they get all excited and cut it open, and they're just making a big old mess, and then it's literally all they wanted to do. It's just like,
I know all that work just to get an egg that they just slop around, and
yeah,
ugh,
but it's
I couldn't do that.
pretty,
Let's put it in a frying pan, get some bacon,
yeah.
cook it, make a little breakfast out of it.
Well,
Maybe an omelet, but
maybe it's like it's probably some crazy royalty or something like that. I don't know. It's funny that each creature though that Mando attacks, like they have something, they have an egg that's valuable, like the crate dragon.
yeah, that's what I was actually thinking about. I was thinking of that in season two. It's like each time he's doing a quest that's bringing something back valuable to get something.
Sure.
Right, this time he's getting his parts back in season two. It's to get the Mando suit or Boba Fett's armor.
Yeah. Did you think when you first saw this episode that Quill was going to join his company? That Quill was going to work for him when he asked him to work for him?
I did. There's a lot of things in the season, like when a lot of the characters show up, like a lot of the promotions. It's like, oh, this character's going to be in it. Oh, this character's going to be in it. I'm like, okay, so he's going to be building a crew as the show goes
Yeah,
on.
I
But they
totally
end
thought
up,
he was building a crew.
but it's like, nope, just building friends along the way, and
He's by
you use
himself.
them later.
Yeah, that's literally what Mando does. It's well, in a way it's kind of fun because it's different because he's literally solo, and then he kind of he just gathers friends along the way, uses them here and there, and pretty much stays alone the whole time.
But that's one of the things I liked about in like season 2 when he's chilling with that one crew, and they're just all just chilling around, just talking, getting ready for their mission.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm hoping to see more of that in future seasons.
Yeah,
And I
and
think
he's
that's one of like the biggest character developments for this character is you see him start off as a loner, and then slowly he's like, okay, I need this person, I need this person. Like he builds these bonds, and it's like, okay, I can't do everything by myself. I actually need people. So he actually starts building relationships with these people to be a little bit more efficient.
yeah. Well, he also you see that he's a good leader too. Starting with the fourth episode on Sorgan, you see him gather up the villagers and teach them
Oh,
what
that's right.
they're doing, and then you and in season 2 you see him with um Cobb Vanth,
Cobb
uh,
Vanth and
te-
his crew, his
teaching
village.
the village of Mos Pelgo. You see him teaching the villagers there to fight the Krayt Dragon, to join with the Sand People and put aside their differences. Like he's a good leader. So that's kind of fun to see.
Maybe that's something that they're kind of slowly building up. Is now that he has the legendary blade,
Yeah,
we're
I know where
seeing
you're
like
going
his
with this one.
different. We see all these different aspects of the character, and
Are
so
you thinking he's gonna be the ruler of Mandalore
I think so. I wonder if they're
the
going to
ending of the
settle with
show?
that. Yeah, I think that's something they're building up to, and we're a lot of these like side missions and stuff that we're seeing with his character is actually developing, showing that he's meant for something more. He's not just a bounty hunter. He can actually pull
What if
people.
what if Bo-Katan never even um, what if Bo-Katan actually starts respecting him as a leader and doesn't even care about the Darksaber anymore?
I wonder if
Because
she already. I wonder if she already thinks that. I think she
yeah,
might be a little irritated, but and then he's handing her the saber, and she's just kind of like not taking it because of the rules of Mandalore, but
sure.
secretly she's just like, you know what, I can follow this guy, so
So
I'm just not gonna take it.
Moff Gideon's pretty much confirmed for so that they are doing up to 4 seasons of this series, right?
Hmm.
So, and I'm hearing that the guy that plays Moff Gideon is confirmed for season 3 and 4. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know because I was curious if he was going to continue to be the main villain since we had him with the first 2 seasons, and you had a theory a while back that what if because Mando is starting to not he's starting to break his ways of we learn he's from the Death Watch. He's an extremist group, and what if those are the ones that become like the armor or the other followers that came up with him? What if they become the bad guys? What if they go to take back Mandalore and they're sort of a new threat because he's not really following those ways anymore? But then again, we also saw that in Clone Wars already, so I don't know if they want to redo that.
True.
if any,
Very true.
if anything, it might just be more simple that they just win it back from the Empire. But I don't know how long I don't know if they want to keep Gideon the villain of the series for another 2 seasons, especially since he doesn't have the black saber anymore or the dark saber anymore.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm
I don't know,
curious what
some
they.
interesting things coming up.
I know there's a lot to look.
We gotta wait 2 years.
What if so they're not actually going to have another season this year? They're just
No,
doing
it's gonna be the Boba Fett is gonna take over.
okay. So, but they are going to jump into a third season of Mandalorian then.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
They're just doing a side project with Boba Fett, and then they'll jump right back into Mandalorian,
Man, there's so much to look forward to.
which is good
The
because it means they'll take a little bit of time off, and maybe, just maybe, this will tie into Mandalorian.
I can see the Ahsoka show also tying in Mandalorian. Like all these other, maybe even a little bit of. Oh, never mind. I was thinking the Obi-Wan show, but that is definitely not that time period. That's between 3 and 4. Um,
Yeah,
but the Ahsoka series, and then of course there's the Rangers of the New Republic, and then
yeah,
there's
that's definitely gonna be a tie-in.
The Book of Boba Fett. I feel like all these will kind of tie in, like they'll be like the CW style of Star Wars with the Flash and Arrow and all the others. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. There's a lot to look forward to because they're doing a great job. I mean, bring it on, whatever they feel like doing. I don't really care. I'm open to it. They've proven themselves. They're they're knocking this out of the park. There's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. So overall, I think this episode was really good, and it's kind of
Yeah,
cool to compare it to like the future stuff because we can kind of see some of the stuff that they were foreshadowing um, without us like realizing it.
sure. Yeah, no, it was definitely like we were saying, it was definitely a detour type story, but it was definitely fun. There was definitely character build there. There was more exploration. It was all in all a fun episode. But
Yeah.
definitely look forward to the next episode, which is probably my favorite of the first season.
Yes, and in 2 weeks, guys, you'll find out why. Because
Yeah,
we'll discuss what we liked about that episode, and if you've already seen it and you're just revisiting it just to hear what we have to say about it, then you know what we're excited for. Um, so I think
you know,
that's going to wrap it up for us today. So as you guys know, check the links in the down below. We've got our Instagram. If you don't follow us, take a look there. We post tons of cool, fun stuff. You can also talk to us there. Also, we have our Discord going. We get lots of fun discussion. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. We're a little bit more frequent in there, so we're able to talk to you guys. Also, check out our merch. We got some cool shirts. Um, give us some support. I know you guys will like the shirts, and tell your friends about us. Like and comment. Let us know what you guys want to see in future episodes. Kind of give us some feedback. So thanks for listening, guys, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks. Echo 2 out.
Echo 5 out
May the force be with you.
always.